What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 53 of Unfiltered. I'm your host, ChanManV, and joining me today is my co-host each and every week, Destiny. What's going on, Steven?
ChanMan?
Dude, you're like mute there for a second. Shit, I didn't hear anything. Fuck, man.
What, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good. What's up, ChanMan?
What's up? Not too much, man. Not too much. But I'm really excited that we got Mr. SirScoots here. But before that, we got our friend every week. It seems like every week, except for when I guess when folks think I sell 50 T-shirts, which
I
hasn't
know.
still happened, guys.
Today's the day, man.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
It will be because I feel like shit at the moment, guys. I've got a real terrible migraine, so if I'm not up to my usual rapier-like wit, I do apologize in advance. So, but I'll try and muscle through. But you got Scoots anyway. We got a bona fide motor mouth. You don't need me.
Bona fide motor mouth. Yes, and our guest today, SirScoots, who hasn't been on the show in quite a few weeks now. So
I've never been on this show, I don't think. I've only been on your Climbing the Ladder back in the day, right?
That's not right.
I don't think I did an Unfiltered, did I?
Come on.
Kind of ironic, considering the last time you climbed a ladder must have been 1934 or something. Right?
And there's the first joke. Let's just take a tally of age.
And the migraine took
this
over.
faux migraine is what it is, man.
But cool to be here. Thanks for asking me. I know you've asked me in the past, and I was unable to join you on a couple topics. So excited. Although I have to vent a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm very pissed off. I came on the show because my number one client, I'm also a talent agency, is Cody Evoli, right? And he blows me off on the show that he's on, right? So
hey man,
he's looking for a new agent. Let's just say that right now. As he's out drinking.
He's out drinking, exactly. Got to give the guy a break. It was his bachelor party, guys, this week.
There's always Jem, right?
There's always Jem.
Oh, there's always Jem.
I mean, Tumba insists on my sobriety, so that's
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Wow.
Toby. Oh my god.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Can I just clear this up right now? Because I get really confused with all this shit. Okay, so Jem is now.
Oh no! Here we go.
What used to be the organization that managed
rearrange the letters, dude. EMG.
Is okay? Gotcha. Just making sure. All right.
All right.
Do they still give everybody Steel Series sponsorships or TTE Sports? What were they doing?
TTE Sports.
The TTE Sports sponsorship manufacturing plant is what I noticed the last time I looked at it.
I haven't had a offer of a sponsor yet, unfortunately.
Obviously, man.
Ouch.
I know. It kind of sucks. I didn't even get TT, so.
Ow.
QQ, man. QQ.
Can we talk
You're
about
not in that inner circle after all?
Can we talk about other people getting fucked over? Is that alright?
No, we're getting to that. We're getting to that.
Just in case it's in my contract, I gotta say Jem's been brilliant and they've done loads for me. just not TT. Saved it.
Saved it.
Nice job.
All right. So some of the topics we got today, guys, we're gonna be talking about the Twitch, YouTube rumor / confirmed. I mean, there's a lot of things going around. Nothing I don't think that's been officially confirmed. And we'll also be talking about the MLG EG discussion that's been happening. And I know SirScoots was going nuts. SSNN was going nuts. SirScoots.
That was just me. Don't hold the news organization accountable. There was no.
Because that always works.
These opinions are my own.
Destiny called that Asian player a what? Oh, no. The opinions are just mine. They don't represent the team. It's okay, guys. You can go away.
Exactly.
That's right. No, lots of stuff going on with the Call of Duty and the whole league. So we'll get to that. And a little bit of balance tests. Some StarCraft 2 stuff, right? So some balance maps or balance test maps are going on. I'm trying a few things, so I figured I'd bounce some of that stuff off of Steven, see what you guys think. And we'll talk a little bit. I was going to talk a little bit about Deck Wars, just my event that I did today. But Cody's not here, and Cody's usually my Hearthstone guy I can bounce stuff off of. So
can we just cross that out of the document?
Maybe we can cross it out. We'll see if some viewers ask about it. Okay, so but otherwise we'll do some Q&A just like we always do on the Reddit thread, which you can post your questions here, and we'll try to do some sub-only call-ins, and we'll see how many people actually write in for that. We'll do that at the end too. But okay, let's start off with the Twitch and YouTube news. So Variety.com released this article that basically said that YouTube's going to be buying Twitch for $1 billion. And so a lot of people obviously going nuts over that, lots of talking about that. And then the Wall Street Journal followed it up and said that this isn't confirmed, and in fact, there is some talk that possibly they're trying to raise some money too. So it's like something completely different. Want to get your thoughts on this, SirScoots? What do you know about this?
I think I know what the public knows. I haven't really reached out to my Twitch friends to even hit on them because obviously everyone's hitting on them. So I know what I've read. Obviously, Variety said it was a done fucking deal, and then we've started to see other news reports saying no, not really a done deal. Definitely in talks. They're shopping themselves around to other possible buyers as well as possibly raising more VC. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. They're a hot property, so it makes sense that they would maybe want to sell and get infused with a big old paycheck for the guys that own the shares. And it could certainly make sense that someone wants to buy them because, again, they're now in the gaming world, especially mentioned right next to YouTube when it comes to content creators and platforms. Right? It's kind of neat. We've really seen them go from like this Justin TV gaming section to like this huge fucking company.
Yeah, they surpassed those guys in some.
Yeah, and they
fashion,
own
too.
their own. And one of the things that probably makes them way more attractive is they own their own infrastructure, right?
Yes.
They're not rebranding another CDN.
Piggyback,
Like
yeah.
it's their shit. So to investors, that means a lot more than like again the rebranding of a player or a CDN. Again, is it going to happen? I imagine. The guys behind Justin TV, Justin and Emmett, have already incubated and sold a couple other companies in their business lives. So it certainly makes sense that this thing's for sale. $1 billion, I don't know. Everyone on Twitter was being an expert going, that's too low, that's too high. Like, who fucking knows, right? $1 billion is a lot of fucking money. I do know that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I've got some trepidation in it. I think we'll probably talk about that as well. But
Okay.
Richard.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, right. I wish I'd got this. I probably could have retired if I'd scooped this story, and I didn't. But it was absolute a given that I think that Twitch were available for the right price. Now, a few industry kind of commentators had come up to me and said before this was announced, that Twitch were potentially looking for a high-profile buyer, of which there is a very fucking small shortlist, that could potentially do it. Reasons for that, so they told me, was that there's other companies out there that are getting this large venture capital injection, and they've been feeling the kind of pressure a little bit because we all know that there's been some performance issues, and they've been slow in expanding. Perhaps slower than they would like. So it kind of makes sense, but I take everything I hear from, these industry experts with a pinch of salt. But in terms of as a prospective purchase, I mean, I'm like Scoots, I've absolutely got trepidation about it, no doubt there. I think we can safely say it's going to happen based on my interactions. I mean, I've been trying to get an official word from someone in Twitch, and all I've been told from my many contacts there is we are officially on PR lockdown.
Yeah, no
right?
surprise.
We're not allowed to talk about anything to anyone. Now, when that isn't, we can't just talk about the potential YouTube purchase. We are now not allowed to talk about anything. And that suggests to me that the deal is virtually done, where it probably is the due diligence stage or whatever, because when you say that, that means that potentially a future buyer doesn't want to be held to things you say now. Right. So that points, as a journalist, that would be something that would set alarm bells ringing in my head that this is a done deal. We're talking over fairly innocuous things. Like just can I get a quote for an article? No, we're on a PR lockdown. Because they might say, oh well, the future is this, and YouTube might have a very different idea, and they don't want to be contradicted in print media. So there's that. I think as well, what's likely, based on what I know about, how YouTube operate, I think they'll probably want to put some of their own people into Twitch if the buy does go ahead. I think there may be a reshuffle because certainly they're going to have some ideas about how they want it to be managed, how they want it to go. And that is one of the, kind of the roots of some of my trepidations, because I think they will want to kind of tinker with what isn't broken. You know, we all know Twitch can be better, but right now they're the only people that have come into the industry, done what they've done, been successful, been sustainable, been realistic, and have been the success story, while everyone else who's challenged them has, you know, fallen by the wayside and died. So I hope that doesn't happen for Twitch. I mean, you wouldn't think it would, but obviously if a bunch of shitty, failed Google projects get tagged onto it, all of a sudden we're looking at a very different beast. And I think a lot of people in the esports community wouldn't be too appreciative about that. But long story short, I would say we're about 90% certain this is going to go ahead.
Wow. So speculating that it will happen, Steven.
Well. So maybe I'm actually feel completely different. I don't know. I might be all bullshit, but I mean, like, if you look at where Twitch is right now, I feel like Twitch is on the precipice of like greatness, right? Like if we go back like 3 or 4 years ago, well, 3 or 4 years ago, Twitch didn't exist, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, imagine fucking Justin TV. Imagine that company would be making exclusive deals with Sony and Microsoft for their consoles to be streaming on their platform.
Yep.
Like, Twitch has come a long fucking way. They're pretty much the industry leader in regards to streaming video game content, right? There are other live stream and news streamers out there, but I mean, in terms of video game content, Azubu's kind of there too. But I mean, it's Twitch. Twitch is like the big fucking player. They've got. I mean, it seems so far they own their own infrastructure. They're able to pay everybody on the program. Nobody is having paycheck. I haven't had paycheck problems on Twitch. I don't think ever. Maybe like when they were first starting up, but other than that, like ever. I mean, they're pretty reliable. They've had some server issues overseas, you know, Europe, blah blah blah. But for the most part, it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if, like, when a company is about to explode, that's when you want to sell it. It would seem to me that, like, this is the absolute time that you would want to stay with it and see where you go from here. Because, I mean, I feel like, I mean, does anybody see streaming getting less popular over the next 5 years?
Of course, like everything get more popular, if anything.
Yeah,
right?
Everything associated with streaming is just growing and growing and growing. Nobody here, at least nobody in the Skype call, I'm pretty sure, sees any real competition to Twitch yet, right? I mean, Azubu and Hitbox are kind of there, but like, really, is anybody? Do you think Twitch is really worried? Do you think Emmett, like, at night has nightmares that he's going to wake up and like Azubu is stealing all the viewers from Twitch? Like, I mean, I don't think that Twitch has any like major competitors yet that are threatening it. So I don't know. It would seem weird to me, I guess, if they were like, oh fuck it, time to sell at this point and cash out, because it seems like they can only go up from here. What Richard said, or I don't know if it was Richard or Scoots, the idea that they're using this to try to raise some more capital for like a capital infusion for more investments or whatever, that makes a lot more sense to me because, I mean, like I said, it looks like Twitch can only go up from here, but I don't know, maybe somebody with more business experience, maybe it is a good time to sell now. before that big boom. Maybe they think the company might be overvalued right now because it's not going to be as big as it will be in 5 years. So like the $1 billion would be a great cash out now. I don't know. Somebody with more info on that.
You're talking about $1 billion now, guys.
Yeah, I don't want to fall into the trap that Scoots was talking about, but you know, $1 billion for me, I would probably put it a little bit over. And I think people, and again, no disrespect to Twitch, and I think they probably know that. And I think that's why it is a very attractive prospect. And there's going to be provisos.
But keep in mind, if they're being offered $1 billion, there's a reason for it. Even if it's overvalued,
I think it's valued. I think it's valued.
Like that's
I think it's valued.
Well, we know what it is in a lot of instances. I mean, YouTube, I wouldn't say took the streaming world by storm particularly. Although when they announced that they were going to dive into it, everybody said, "Oh well, that's it, game over," right? Like YouTube, Google are doing it now. Everyone's fucked, and it didn't pan out like that at all. And they've concentrated on a lot of projects. I mean, like for me, Google, as great as they are as a company, I'd argue that they could use a win. And what better way to get a win than to purchase something that's prepackaged, a known brand. What was it? That report where they were like the fourth most popular.
Yeah.
Website on the internet or whatever it was, fourth most popular branded website.
No. All of that info was bullshit. Those numbers are really fucking skewed. That Twitch was as popular.
It was
one thing to think about too, Stephen. To your point about venture capital is the $1 billion could also that's to buy it. That's to take ownership
to get ownership of the company.
So with that contract, it might also be, and we're dumping $500 million into new infrastructure, right?
Exactly.
But that's not part of the $1 billion that Justin gets paid, right? So they might be shopping a double deal where, yes, you buy us, but when you buy us, we also need $500 million to do this, that, or the other, right? I'm making these numbers
But I mean,
up.
with Google taking ownership, then they lose access to the future profits or however much of a share Google buys in the company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, sure.
The
But
fear
the,
would be that they Gordon Gekko it or they fuck it up, right? And they take control and they kill this baby that we love called Twitch. You know,
Yeah.
I have been part of ownership of one company that got sold. When we owned Got Frag, we sold to MLG for millions of dollars. And man, it was a rosy fucking day. We were so excited that our valuation was what it was and that someone wanted to buy us and we all got a nice paycheck for all our hard work. And on top of that was a deal that then gave us more money to build a Gottfried TV studio and all those kind of things, give us real paychecks. It ended up eventually, about a year later, being closed down because it wasn't profitable and MLG wanted to go a different route. But for a little while there, it was the best time ever, right? We got paid. We all got paid our shares, and then we all got more money to spend. So this deal is obviously 12 million times, well, way bigger than that.
Right.
So, the fear would be that somewhere along the way, Google doesn't go, let's just call it YouTube Live. Let's just fucking push it way over there because they'll kill the brand that Twitch built, and they don't need to. And that's the fear I think a lot of people have is that they're gonna fuck this up. Twitch is no longer to be Twitch anymore. They're going to be Google TV Live. They're going to be YouTube Live that was never good. So I don't know.
Let's look at it from the other standpoint. So
Can I address one quick thing real fast that a lot of people, because somebody brought this up. Okay, I hear this tossed around a lot. There was that stat that said that like Twitch is like the fourth most bandwidth or whatever in the United States.
Yeah.
That in terms of like site popularity uniques, that number means absolutely nothing. Okay, if you've got like to use an example, if you've got one website that's worth like 10,000 megabytes and only one person visits it, and then you've got like 10,000 websites that are all worth like 1 kilobyte and like or you've got like a website that's worth 1 kilobyte and everybody like 10,000 people visit it, and it comes out to be the same data usage. Like one is obviously far more popular than the other. Twitch is a very, very data heavy stream. One user consuming a 1440p or a 1080p stream for 8 hours is going to use up as much data as hundreds of people or thousands of people or potentially tens of thousands of people watching like a single YouTube video or even Netflix streaming or whatever. I just want to put that out there because that number gets thrown around a lot and it's completely irrelevant to any discussion about anything having to do with anything ever.
Sure.
All right, sorry.
Sure. It's a way to inflate things. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a totally disingenuous way of presenting internet traffic. All right,
It's
I mean,
use a lot of bandwidth. Really? You think?
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a measure of bandwidth,
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing that you gain from the platform or just this live streaming bit is the interaction, right? I think one of these articles just talked about that. Like Twitch's interaction is something that with their current platform, and obviously they've been trying with live, and that's our sort of bit, but it hasn't been working out. But I did want to kind of have us discuss really the potential positives for this happening, especially for channel owners and people like us. What do you see as the big benefits? I mean, I'm thinking like if they're going to have YouTube back in, they're going to have basically access to all these sponsors, all these potential advertisers that YouTube has access to.
Just one point, Chris, before you move into the positives. Right, and it's not necessarily a negative, but I think it's an interesting point. I mean, like we all know that Twitch as a brand, it's while they've been a very successful business and they've been very astute in the way they've done business, I think we can agree that a large part of their success, maybe not the majority, but a significant part, was built on the talent that they had that were using their platform. What I've been curious about is with this buyout happening, what's going to happen to the talent that helped popularize Twitch, the people who had the original great channels. I mean, I don't know if they've been talked about privately and whether they've been offered any stock options or I don't know, but I feel that if those people don't receive something, even if it's a token gesture for their efforts and for how they've helped the Twitch brand thrive, I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity to generate some sort of feel-good, factor around the move from the community that have been, vital in Twitch's success.
I'd be surprised if that happened.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen either, dude. Like, because why would you? But I mean, I'm a realist. I understand how business works.
But
it's
it's a
just not even
symbiotic
typical.
relationship. Those
Yeah.
top broadcasters make fucking a living off of this platform that costs them literally nothing to use. If they had to provide their own bandwidth, and they wouldn't have the viewers in front of them because they wouldn't have the world of Twitch in front of them. So I certainly don't think anyone from Twitch is going to Lyric or any of the top streamers going, hey, bro, here's a piece of the pie. Get rich with this, because they're already getting rich. I mean, Summit has 3,800 subscribers. 3,800 subscribers times 250 a pop that he gets, plus his donations, plus his ad rev. He streams to 5,000 to 8,000 people a day. He makes a very, very nice living doing nothing but streaming video game play. Twitch owes him nothing, and he owes Twitch nothing because they both make money off of him. So, I mean, it's like I would see it, Richard, only if they wanted to make sure they kept those top of the top. Like, here's that carrot, right? Stay with us in this transition. But again, Twitch has never been one to offer all huge money in the first place, right? Everyone else offers the huge money. That's why they leave Twitch to go to Azubu's and go to own 3Ds.
Which is kind of why I feel now might be the opportunity to sort of redress some of that balance, like for people that have been loyal. Now, look, I'm a huge Twitch fan, no doubt about it. And, I got very good relationships with the guys over there. So this isn't to sort of be critical of them. And there's an argument that I am just playing a bit of devil's advocate.
It's actually, you're right. I mean, the platform's built on the streamer. So your point's valid. Go ahead, continue.
Oh no, but the point is there. I mean, I'm definitely interested to hear what Stephen thinks about it, because I know we've talked about Twitch and the money making potential and whatnot several times on the show. But for me, in kind of a nutshell, I agree with what you're saying in the sense that they don't owe them anything. I definitely think there's no obligation there. But some people have stayed with Twitch and helped make Twitch the site that we know it to be. To make, we've all got our favorite streamers on Twitch. And in the early days, especially back when they were having that ridiculous war with Owned, the talent that stayed and helped them win that battle pretty much set them up for the future that they've got now, which allows them to sell, to a company like Google. And I think that, just for me, a gesture of some sorts would be nice. It would reaffirm everything that I know to be true about Twitch.
Yeah, but
that they are a community focused.
Then you get into a weird situation where it's like, do you give this guy something, or do you give this guy something? And
I think we can all be clear about who the actual important streamers are in Twitch's history. I think we'd all know.
But during that owned 3D fight, they lost a lot of their top number producers, Destiny being one of them back in the day, right? The League of Legends guys. So the loyalty wasn't the bigs. The bigs left for that bonus money, right? They all came back, obviously, or some have come back. But obviously you've got guys like Day 9 who never left, and obviously the Lyrics and the other ones that stuck around. But I think, like Chris said, you get into a really weird...
They've already been given something along the way already. That's the thing. Like, they probably get awesome rates, awesome CPMs, awesome subscriber splits. And the thing, the situations where you get in where you're giving ownership, like things like options and stock and that kind of thing to people, is when you have nothing to give them and you need them to stay. Yeah. And it has not been like that for any of these guys. These guys,
and if anything, it sends there's a certain message that gets sent out when you're having to offer, and I'm not saying this is necessarily a good thing, but when you've got to offer a lot of money for people to come to your platform, there's undertones to that, right? Like, yeah, our platform is probably pretty good, and I mean, people probably like it, but hey, look, $5,000, come on, come and stream with us, Whereas with Twitch, to never give any cash out like that at all, when you just say hey, you've been with us, we give you rock solid paychecks, we give you a rock solid platform, we're reliable as fuck in every sense of the word, obviously they have some server problems sometimes, but for the most part, they're pretty fucking reliable. I mean, they don't really need to go through the whole here's some cash, please stay with us, thank you for staying, blah blah blah, because I mean they've already been providing that solid service. They've already been giving people, that ability to make a living without having to wonder, is my paycheck going to come next week? I have no fucking idea. So I like the idea of, if I was Twitch, we don't really have to send out bonuses or thank yous. Our thank you has been the service we've been providing. Their thank you has been streaming on our platform, and that's it. That's the relationship we have with the people that stream with us.
And chat makes a really, really valid point. And I bring up Summit. Summit could not go anywhere else on the planet and stream and make this kind of money. So if anything, he's beholden to Twitch. Twitch is beholden to him because he's one of many. But there's nowhere else these streamers could go. No platform is monetized like this right now. Yeah. So that's in Twitch's pocket, in the sense of, hey, this is why you want to be with us.
And that's why this whole ecosystem is so beautiful, right? Everybody's gaining right now from it, and Twitch just happens to be just an aggregate of all of it, which is cool.
Yeah, I guess on reflection, having heard yours and Stephen's input, I didn't know which way Stephen would go on the argument, but I'm probably inclined to agree. I guess I've kind of got this romantic, or everyone calls me a fucking communist like all the time, right? Like all the American guys. He votes for Obama. I can't even
never
vote.
called
You
you
know,
What?
I've
yeah,
called
like,
you a lot.
I get it all the fucking time.
I gotta
get it
add that
all
one. I've never called you that one.
I get it all the time. Like when I wrote that article about Papa John's, right, and the Pizza GG thing, he's like,
Oh,
"What if so?" And there was literally a comment sent to me saying what a disgrace I was, and it was something like, what if we don't want you Euro fags telling us that we have to have our health care for free, faggot," or something like that, and it was just like, dude, like I don't know, man, maybe just maybe. Like, I don't know how you get that fucked up and brainwashed by a system. But anyway, so I do have this, like, kind of communist ethos where I think everybody should get kind of a little bit rewarded, I guess. So I'm probably just living in some fucking fantasy land. So I apologize for my ridiculous remarks about rewarding streamers. I apologize.
Okay.
I think it would kind of be to put this in an analogy that everybody in chat would understand. Let's say you go out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend for the night, and then at the end you make wonderful love, and then at the end, like when you finish, you're laying next to each other, and they turn around and say thank you. Like it doesn't really need to be said, right? Like it's like you did your thing, you both benefited, like you're good, like you don't.
I like to hear that. Like please thank me. Yeah, usually because the chloroform's wore off. No, I'm kidding. That's terrible.
Well, no, you're usually like, thank you, and how much was that again?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Should I leave on the table?
Yeah, they don't say thank you until the money's changed hands. But I know what you're saying. It's like, yeah, the thanks is the good service.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
So, and I get that.
Yeah, and that's why everybody's always come back to them. I mean, look at the Zuba right now, offering way more money, I think, than even Owned was offering at the time, and I've been hearing some talk about people wanting to come back. You know what I mean? So not surprising. So so I wanted to get to how it's going to benefit us. Do you see higher CPMs? Do you see higher fill rates like immediately happen whenever
Google
once
Okay, all the good things that I just said about Twitch they're absolutely a great company and they've done really good things. But Google taking over Twitch, oh my fucking god, I would like be so fucking wet. The ability to combine my YouTube audience with my Twitch audience, access to the VOD the VOD archiving that YouTube has versus what's on Twitch right now. The access to the Google Analytics over my stream would be fucking awesome.
Yes.
The access to the Google ad network instead of carpet bombing people with these same fucking Titanfall ads fucking 6 times in a row every time you run the commercial. Fuck that game. For that shit to happen over again versus like the targeted ads that are worth so much more with the Google system. Right. Access to the paychecks that Google sends out. Like, I mean, there are so many fucking benefits that come with being integrated with Google. I mean, for better or for worse. I mean, people say they take over everything, but oh my god, there would be so much good that could come from that.
Yeah, and I think the cross-platform stuff because there's hardcore YouTubers that make a lot of money on YouTube that never stream live. Yeah. And you've got guys that stream live but never take the time necessary to chop it up and move it over. So, again, if you could unify a partnership program between your YouTube channel and your Twitch channel, integrate them, maybe via my YouTube channel, you can see my live Twitch stream if it's live. Like, there could be some really cool, crazy shit. The dark side of this, and I don't know if you want to talk about dark side, Chris, or we just
don't say it. Not content.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
No.
My biggest fear, and again, I'm a very low level streamer. I've always been more known for producing other content than making my own, but I now stream on Twitch. I have a partnership and a sub button and all that fun stuff. But I stream fucking rock and roll. I stream fucking copyrighted music, and I know I'm really not allowed to. But the way Twitch handles the DMCA rule set, which is they follow the letter of the law, which basically says we have to give content owners or copyright owners a mechanism to tell us if a broadcaster is violating our copyrights. And Twitch has that in place, right? Yep. That's all well and good. Whether it's music or a video you're streaming you shouldn't be streaming, it's in place per the letter of the law. Twitch is not breaking the rules. Right. I kind of am. Right? It's up to the owners of Led Zeppelin's catalog to hit up Twitch and go, hey, this SirScoots guy who's got 45 people watching his channel every night is playing Stairway to Heaven a little too much. Then Twitch goes to me and says, Scoots, knock that shit off. If we tell you a few more times, we're pulling your channel, right? Yep. And that's the rule set that Twitch is using. Perfectly legal. YouTube started down that road with tell us if someone's... tell us if someone's breaking the rules, and then we'll flag them. But now they have this fucking thing called Content ID, where the fucking Skynet does it for the fucking copyright owners.
They flag you when you're not even using the content.
Yeah,
sometimes.
so Content ID on paper is a really noble, it's a really good, it's a really awesome thing, but it turned into everything that would be stereotypically bad about what an automated system could do. Oh my fucking god. I remember listening to one YouTuber, so this person had made a video, and they went through so much trouble to make sure that everything they used was either royalty free or out of some free domain, and like everything was on the up and up. They had licenses for every fucking thing they do, but no matter how many fucking times they kept putting it back on the channel, it would get flagged. Content ID, Content ID, Content ID, and it ended up to the point where she was getting like a copyright strike on the account, and that's some scary fucking shit to deal with when you're a content producer.
Yeah.
All right, and like
basically.
it's arguing against the Content ID is fucking crazy. Some people, and there are companies that will take advantage of the Content ID bullshit. Don't even get me started on the fucking crazy retarded shit that Nintendo was fucking doing. Like, what does this mean for people that speedrun? Did Nintendo ever, like, cut their shit out with, like, fucking everybody over on YouTube? Did they stop that, or? Does anybody?
I actually don't know. That's a good
At one point
question.
in time, Nintendo was saying that like pretty much nobody could monetize their games, fucking period, on YouTube. Nintendo was going around to every single fucking channel and claiming their videos to collect the ad revenue, to collect the fucking 100,000 or whatever a year that people make on Nintendo videos. They were fucking claiming the money on it, and they didn't want people monetizing it. Like when shit like that becomes a possibility, which is all brought to you and made part by fucking Content ID, that shit can get fucking crazy. And Google's system in place right now for protesting copyright strikes is not good. And if you protest a copyright strike, right? Like, what do your parents always tell you? Well, fucking go down. What's the worst thing they can do is tell you no, right? Wrong. They'll chop your fucking dick off. Because if you try to protest a copyright strike on your fucking thing, and it like doesn't go through and you fail it, you get like these permanent fucking strikes on your account. You get fucking branded with the giant fucking Content ID dildo all over your fucking mouth. And if you do it too many times, then you're chopped off from ever using like AdSense or any kind of YouTube monetization service ever again. So if you make a living on it, you're fucked.
Someone needs to Photoshop the Content ID dick.
Remix,
like,
baby.
super,
Remix.
It's okay. I'm sorry. It's kind of funny, but like it's a really big fucking problem.
That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, it's a huge problem for people on YouTube.
And again, again, I know that I shouldn't be streaming, my Spotify classic rock playlist. And if Twitch ever came to me and said, "Scoots, you'll no longer be on the front page late at night. You won't be in the rotation," or you were getting strikes, I'd stop doing it. And the big streamers know they can't do it, so they make deals with Monster Cat and all those different music companies. But like, I'm not that guy. And again, like, I don't make a lot of money for Twitch. I don't make a lot of money for myself on Twitch. So, but again, the Autobots coming could wrongly flag a shitload of content, right? Obviously, my music is what it is, but it's a very scary proposition. And you may, like, about 6 months ago, YouTube changed their. YouTube had a deal in place with all the big Maker Studio, Machinima, all these big umbrella studios that then take YouTube content people below them, and they basically were not part of the Content ID system. YouTube said to Machinima, they said to Machinima, "You police your fucking people," and Machinima said, "Oh, we'll police the fuck out of these people." Well, they unflipped that switch, and that's why JP and all these guys that were kind of tucked under a different umbrella all got flagged for their shit, right or wrong, right? Yeah. Because basically YouTube said, you guys are not doing what you said you would do, right? These copyright owners are saying that this shit is theirs, so we're unflipping the Content ID like veto switch on your world, and now you'll all get flagged. And like all of JP's got videos got flagged. All the people that we kind of know generally fall under these other studios all got flagged for shit that is absolutely they have the rights to use, right? That's the scary part. It's not if you're breaking the law, you get busted. It's what Steven just said, and what I'm talking about is the people that are just doing gameplay, and there's music in the gameplay. They're allowed to use the gameplay. Flags go off, and once you're dick fucked, you're pretty much dick fucked on YouTube. It's very hard to get unfucked.
You can't.
Very hard.
I'm completely honest. My AdSense account from Google got banned like 6 fucking years ago. And I don't even know why, and I've sent in, like, complaint after complaint, and I was never fucking able to get the fucking ban lifted. Like, and my experience in using Google AdSense, this was back when I made my very first website on my own in fucking Notepad, right? Doing all the fucking CSS, all on my own in fucking Notepad. I typed it up, and I found a way to get, like, Google AdSense to work on that. And somehow, I got flagged and banned from the system, like early fucking on, back when I was a fucking no name, and I've never been able to undo that ban. Holy fuck.
Well, I know networks
So,
networks
my
can help
would
with
be
shit
that
like
they
that.
when
but-
they buy it and they start changing policies and start doing whatever they're going to do with YouTube,
Yeah.
they leave how Twitch does DMCA as it is, and just
Hopefully.
but
Well,
again,
Hopefully.
It's a bigger conversation, but this is something that like I don't know if people have noticed, but we're starting to come to a head where a lot of the old laws aren't very compatible today with what happens on the internet. At some point, we're going to need to have like an international conversation about how we're going to do things on the internet, because right now the internet is the purest form of fucking I have money, so I'm going to fucking destroy you in court of anything ever, because no laws really kind of sort of protect you, but like nothing is really enforceable unless you've got a fuck ton of money. Like all the contracts we talk about in esports, like none of those fucking mean anything unless you're willing to, unless you're willing to actually hire someone and go to fucking court over it, right? None of the people that fucking DDoS you, like they don't get in fucking trouble for anything. Even people that fucking swat you don't get in trouble more often than not, which is fucking crazy. Like there's the way the DMCA works is fucking crazy. You're a big fucking company, you can go to a fucking channel and you can just type DMCA and potentially destroy that person.
but I can do it.
But
Too.
if it,
Like you can false content ID someone, right?
Yeah,
People use that aggressively.
and
People use
but
that
and that's what I
aggressively,
was,
too.
and that's what I was just gonna say. You
Yeah.
can walk up to somebody's channel and you can hit that DMCA button all fucking day long. And if it comes back and it doesn't it's not true, then there's nothing matter. It doesn't matter for you.
But you're automatically, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're automatically guilty in YouTube's eyes, and you have to.
that's
prove you're
exactly how
innocent.
it
Yeah,
works.
you gotta
Yes,
prove you're
no,
assumed
you're
guilty.
instantly
You gotta prove
guilty.
innocence.
Yeah.
And if you do manage to prove your innocence, which is scary, because if you take that fight on and you lose, you're fucked. But if you just leave it, you can be like, okay, it's okay. Like, you can take the money from that video, bro. I'm not going to go after you. It's fine. But if you're like, no, I'm going to fucking fight it, and you lose, you're so fucked.
Yeah.
Because you get a permanent strike on your account. But if you do win, you get nothing.
You get nothing,
You get to keep your
exactly.
video.
It's
No,
like
there's nothing
you're
bad
guilty
that happens
before
to the
proven
guy that
innocent.
DMCA'd
It's
you.
stupid.
Nothing bad comes from that. There's no penalty for that. You can fucking
It-
walk around and
it's-
do that shit all day long. It's
It's
totally
kind of like
fucking crazy.
It's kind of like a classic witch trial in the sense that what they do is they dunk the witch. If she drowns,
Exactly.
if she
Yeah.
drowns, she's
Yeah.
innocent.
Exactly.
If she floats and survives, she's obviously a witch. So then we burn the fucker, you know. And it's a ridiculous situation. But there's a lot of trolling groups and like, you know, whenever anybody is found guilty of being, you know, unpopular opinion-wise on the internet, or if they do anything that other people dislike, one of the first things people do is they go and DMCA report and copyright
It's the
strike
new
the fuck
swatted-
out of their YouTube
the
channel.
online
Yeah.
swatted version. Yeah.
And you literally only need 3 strikes, and then that's it. You can never use YouTube again. It's happened to a number of
ever.
yeah. It's happened to a number of
I mean,
people.
we're talking-
we can just blame Metallica, right? We can just blame Metallica for all this shit, right?
Which is ironic because that's what you're playing
Fucking
mostly on your
Napster, man.
fucking
That's
stream.
probably
I
is
don't
what
play
he plays
Metallica
most.
actually because they're not in Spotify, so fuck them.
That's true.
Right.
That's
Double
true.
fucking. But hang on,
There's a
There's a bunch of
here's
cover.
another
There's a
thing.
bunch of
Here's another
Metallica
thing.
cover bands though.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought Spotify already had a pre-agreement with the bands that are on there to broadcast their stuff to users of their product. So if you're using a product and sort of
Yeah.
rebroadcasting the
No.
But it doesn't fall under it though. It doesn't fall.
Yeah,
under
I
it.
mean,
we've had this.
I've had these covers, like
discussion.
DJ Wheat and I obviously know each
Yeah,
other for a
I've heard
very
this
long
discussion.
time. And so we've, like, for a decade, we've talked about, like, how do we figure out a way to let people use really good music, but everyone gets paid? And I was talking on my stream the other day. Years ago, there's still a company called Sam Broadcaster. That's a internet radio program that you put your playlist in, and it tracks what you're playing. You can pay to rights companies, and it tracks how many people listened. So then, 'cause
That's nice.
it's all about how many people watch or listen, right?
Right.
So, and again, like I had like 12 people watching, so I had to pay like $2 a month to play my music. It works with all the different, organizing committees that manage the rights, right? But how cool would it be if somehow I could tie, because I use Spotify, if I could tie in my Spotify Premium, which again doesn't give me the right to do what I'm doing. I'm not saying it does, but it's somehow tracked. Okay, Twitch. SirScoots on Spotify is attached to Twitch SirScoots. Right now, he's playing this song. This song is owned by BMI. He's got 55 people potentially listening. Scoots owes $1.20 right
Pretty
now.
cool. It's a business model right
Again,
there.
I-
That's a business model right there.
And then it'd be like Spotify Uber Premium or Pandora Uber Premium, right? But you have to track the viewership number has to go along with it, right? Because that's how they get paid. And again, a lot of new music. Maybe this is a way a lot more new music gets found, right? But again, I know people tune into my stream because of the music I play, right? Because I'm playing classic rock. I'm not playing dubstep. I'm not playing fucking Darude.
I play the
And
same
again,
thing,
I
dude.
know that I'm just waiting for someone at Twitch to go, Scoots, you got to stop doing this,
Yeah.
and I will. But again, it would be maybe there's a business model there. But again, it's really like, again, thousands of people listening to Led Zeppelin is not a cheap endeavor either, right? That costs
Sure.
a lot of money.
This is
Yeah.
this is one of those things where we're all kind of sitting and waiting for people to stop being
Yeah.
fucking lazy and to figure out a business model that fucking works. Like
Yeah,
how long did we have to suffer and fucking fight for pirating bullshit until finally a fucking company like Netflix comes along? What an amazing fucking company. They, instead of like constantly fucking bitching about the retarded fucking problems,
Yeah.
and like, because like, let's be real, as long as you can easily like this is like the ad block argument, right? Like, why would I sit there and complain about it when it's so easily accessible? You know, it's the same thing with like pirating like music or pirating videos or whatever. Like, how you can't fight that battle for so long as it's as easy for me to click a button and all of a sudden I have it on my computer instantly. Like,
Yep.
if I can't find that legally, why the fuck would I ever like do anything else? And then finally, you've got some companies that are finally coming around. You got Netflix, where you can just click a fucking button and start to stream fucking video to your computer. It's a genius fucking idea. And they finally got, they've got like 33 million subscribers now to their shit to show for it, which is fucking good. That
And
shit
it-
needs to start happening with music. Like, it should have happened
yeah, well,
already.
I mean,
But
exactly.
it is happening,
You would
but
have
it's
thought.
already happened.
You would have thought
But
it would have
Netflix
happened
is
already
Spotify,
because of the way.
Steven. The
Sorry, go
difference
on.
is I can't take my Netflix account and stream it.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like-
no,
it's-
that's what I
it's
mean.
the
That's what I mean. I
streaming
mean,
of
some
it.
way to integrate that
Yeah.
into like stream
Because
experience.
Spotify
Like,
is Netflix, right? They take their
Yeah.
money and they go to
Well,
the
it's-
rights holders and go, "We want your music, we want your movies."
I mean, it sounds
But
like there
that
needs to be a
next step,
partner.
how do we rebroadcast? How do we broadcast that shit and pay who needs to get paid for it, but be able to use it? And obviously, you don't use a movie as background to what you're doing, but obviously, music is very much a background to a lot of what we do.
yeah, and
I mean,
and
I
like,
guess-
like,
I
I mean,
guess
like,
you're
if
right.
you look at it,
If someone can figure out how to do it, like
Oh,
Sam
yeah.
Broadcaster for video is what we need.
if you look at it logically, like, I mean, like, there's no threat here to the copyright holders. Like, it's because if you honestly think about it, like, what does copyright do? It gives you the exclusive ability to make copies of your product, and you don't want that ability threatened, right? Nobody comes to my stream because they're like, man, I really wanted to pay $15 for the Eminem or that New Jabez album, but if I go to Destiny's stream, I can listen to it. The song will come on eventually, and hopefully
I
it's
know,
not talking or
exactly,
typing.
yeah, exactly.
Like
It's
from a
not
logical
on
point of view,
demand.
like, it's completely
Yep.
fucked. Like, the copyright holder's ability
Right.
to exclusively copy their product is not being threatened whatsoever. By the material that goes on by stream. It's not the focus of any stream, I guess, unless you've got like a DJ stream where you just play music. Like, I mean, like, logically, there's no reason
But that
for
wouldn't belong on Twitch anyway, because it's supposed to be gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
That-
Yeah,
Well, what it sounds
The
like
law,
is that
but
what it
the law
sounds
when
like.
it comes to cinema and TV is right. So, say for example, if you take a clip from a TV show, right, and you incorporate it into something, and it's just a segment. The thing that's been held up in court numerous times is that if it's not going to actually deter from sales, if it's not a complete replication of the show in its entirety. And I think this is even held up for some music as well. If you use a snippet of music and therefore it isn't the whole thing and therefore wouldn't stop somebody who liked it buying the entire song or buying the entire show or buying the entire movie, it's legal to use. And that's how they get around using very short snippets or very short
Really?
quotes from films. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm sure there's a legal eagle out there who can contest that. So what I guess what I would be looking for Twitch to do, or this new Twitch YouTube empire that's getting built, is they're a big enough business with enough sort of corporate connections, and how many companies actually own all of music across America? Is it like 7 companies? I think it is that own all the
Is
subsidiaries.
it that
own all
many?
the
I thought it was
radios.
like 2 or 3.
It could be even less, but I think it's approximately 7. Obviously, now if that's the case, why can't we have like an opt-out scheme? So you're on a list of approved, pre-approved stream music for rebroadcast, unless, a la Metallica, you have got a specific objection to it, and then we can handle things on a case-by-case basis. And the argument for doing it that way would be in the same way that you're not going to lose anything commercially from using a small snippet. I'm not going to record someone's stream so I can play a fucking song back to myself. And in actual fact, if I hear a song that I like on a streamer's thing and I see the name there in black and white, I might proactively go out and seek to buy it. So it's free advertisement. So I think there's a lot of arguments that need to really be broadly defined legally so we can move forward with the issue.
It's so fucking weird that somebody can email me and they say like, hey, Steven, like, I'll pay you $50 a month if you can do like a verbal call to action for this sponsor or whatever. If you You do that'd be great. But I've got to pay somebody else to essentially do the same thing with their music. Like it's just so fucking weird to me that like it's essentially free advertising for the music. Like I don't understand. I don't know. It just seems really weird to me.
It's case by case basis because you can broadcast the music in a way that it's very centralized to the content, and you're basically profiting from it, right?
But
So
that kind of
it's-
material wouldn't necessarily be like if you want to talk about. So like here's something where I could legitimately see people complaining, right? There are channels on YouTube that literally just upload music. That's all they do. Like if I were to go on Google, like any popular song, like
Sure.
Kanye West or whatever, bullshit. Like I could find those songs on
That's
YouTube,
right, yeah.
and they get millions of views. Some people will sneak in and find a way. Like there's a lot of tricks on YouTube to try to monetize a song, right? Like you'll speed it up like a little bit so that it doesn't really sound too bad, but like you can get by the content ID system and whatnot. Like those people, sure, fucking ban them or whatever. But if like somebody, if like you're there for something different, you're there watching Diaries play League of Legends, or you're watching me shout at people on fucking StarCraft or whatever, and like the music is clearly like a background thing. Like I don't know, it just seems really weird to me that it's literally free advertising. Like, hey, listen to the music, you like it, go fucking buy it. Like there's no other alternative. Like if you hear the song, then you have to go elsewhere to find it. Like you're not gonna archive the fucking VOD and chop it up and play it in the car with your
Sure,
friends. Like, oh,
sure.
what's that song? It sounds really cool. Is there always the annoying scrawny kid fucking screaming in the background? Like that's
Is that
never
part
gonna
of the
fucking
song?
happen.
Exactly.
Like,
No, it's a valid point. Maybe that's why we all don't get flagged that much. Again, I'm not a big streamer, so I don't know if the big dogs have been told no copyrighted shit. Because again, it is background to what we're doing. It isn't central to what we're doing.
Yeah.
By the way, I've got some SirScoots breaking news coming through my
Uh-oh.
Skype.
There we go.
Unnamed sources. Obviously, the news team behind me is hard at work here at
Wall
the
Street.
news network. Word on the street is that Facebook is offering $2 billion plus for Twitch. There's some buzz going
Zuckerberg,
on with the venture capitalists in California. So
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Man.
I don't know too. So maybe we got a little war going between Facebook and Google here
Interesting.
for Twitch. Anyway,
That's interesting.
unnamed sources who shall not be named, but very reliable,
Very reliable.
aren't they all?
Man.
Richard, aren't all your sources reliable, right?
The only bad thing about that is that all fucking streamers have to stream at least 1 hour of Farmville.
Yeah.
And, that's gonna fucking
next thing you're
suck.
telling, next excuse is going to hear is that there's a venture capitalist on Sand Hill that's going to give him $100 million too. It's just
to be
adding another
fair,
party
to be
this.
fair, Facebook has been really responsible. I remember in their acquisition of Instagram, a lot of people were worried that was
Oh,
going to
yeah,
go to
they don't-
shit, and it seemed like they were really good in the way that they managed that, and they didn't turn Instagram into like Facebook Junior or connected,
Like
like crazy.
Snapchat too. Snapchat's.
You know, I'm just gonna say, if your stream isn't Oculus Rift 3D compliant, there'll be no home for you at the new Twitch.
Oh boy,
Oh man. All right.
$2 billion. That's an unimaginable amount of money. Holy shit!
I mean, I could
It
see
could
that
be-
this story could lead to a whole lot of people going, "Oh, what? Why would they want? Oh, maybe we should think about this." You know, but again,
Yeah.
if the we don't know.
Maybe
So-
if it's done, yeah. But I mean, if it's not, I mean, there's so many possibilities, right? Like this is a great arena to raise capital in, right? If you've got this much money being thrown at you,
Oh, you've got big
like, to get
names.
investors
Yeah,
in-
big names.
to get
thrown in
investors
there,
or something like that.
That's
Like,
what I'm
holy
saying. Like
fuck.
Sand Hill, I wouldn't be surprised if a big old, nice little raising of venture capital could come.
Facebook
too.
should just play it smart and wait for YouTube to buy Twitch, and then they should just buy Google. And just there you go.
They don't even have
Trump
enough
card, right? Like
They don't
you
even have
won the
enough
game.
money.
I'm sure. I'm kidding. I'm not a complete
Both of them.
cretin. Just a communist.
money. Just a communist.
Damn red.
All right. Well, that was topic number 1. 1
Good stuff.
hour.
Yeah,
Yes.
we only went through one of the bad things, of which there was many more that we could have discussed. But
Exactly.
yeah, I probably should move on. I don't know.
All right. Why don't we take a quick break and then we'll be back for some MLG EG talk.
Let's cross that Hearthstone shit out. We have plenty of time,
Yeah,
man.
fuck you, man.